हरे कृष्णा। भगवद गीता की जय। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। भगवद गीता as it is. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Introduction, page number 4. After hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna accepted Krishna as Param Brahma, the Supreme Brahman. Every living being is Brahman, but the Supreme Living Being, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the Supreme Brahman. Paramdhama means that he is the supreme rest or abode of everything. Pavitram means that he is pure, untainted by material contamination. Purusham means that he is the supreme enjoyer. Shashvatam means eternal. Divyam, transcendental. Adidevam, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ajam, the unborn. And Vibhum, the greatest. So these are the adjectives that Arjuna used to describe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Now one may think that because Krishna was the friend of Arjuna, Arjuna was telling him all this by way of flattery. But Arjuna, just to drive out this kind of doubt from the minds of the readers of Bhagavad Gita, substantiates these phrases in the next verse when he says that Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead not only by himself but by authorities like Narada, Asita, Devala and Vyasadeva. These are great personalities who distribute the Vedic knowledge as it is accepted by all acharyas. Therefore, Arjuna tells Krishna that he accepts whatever he says to be completely perfect. Sarvam etad ritam manye. Quote, I accept everything you say to be true. Unquote. Arjun also says that the personality of Godhead is very difficult to understand and that he cannot be known even by the great demigods. This means that the Lord cannot be even known by personalities greater than human beings. So how can a human being understand Lord Krishna without becoming his devotee? Therefore, Bhagavad Gita should be taken up in a spirit of devotion. One should not think that he is equal to Krishna, or nor should he think that Krishna is an ordinary personality, or even a very great personality. Lord Sri Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So according to the statements of Bhagavad Gita or the statements of Arjuna, the person who is trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should at least theoretically accept Sri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. And with that submissive spirit, we can understand Bhagavad Gita. Unless one reads the Bhagavad Gita in a submissive spirit, it's very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita because it is a great mystery. So this was the 5th page of the introduction. Arjuna describes the Supreme Lord in so many terms. The Supreme Lord is pure, he is transcendental, he is the supreme abode, the Paramdhama, and he is eternal, Shashvatam. One may think that Arjuna is just flattering Krishna. So, in order to address that doubt in the viewer's mind, the reader's mind, the reader who may be reading Bhagavad Gita, if he has such a doubt that Arjuna is flattering, in order to dispel that doubt, Arjuna says that whatever I'm describing now has been substantiated by the previous acharyas, and he names them Narada, Asita, Vyasa, and so on. They have substantiated this that you are the supreme Lord. There is nobody above you. So Krishna is a supreme Lord. So one has to accept that, understand that before trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. That's one point. The other point is that, again, which I said in the previous video, only a devotee can understand completely Bhagavad Gita as well as about Krishna. A non-devotee cannot. He may be the greatest scientist or greatest intellectual giant, but still he will not be just able to scratch the surface of Bhagavad Gita. He will not be able to understand it. It requires a true devotee in a true submissive spirit to understand the nuances of Bhagavad Gita. So here Prabhupada has stressed that point, how one should be submissive and then read Bhagavad Gita, not in a challenging spirit. That reminds me of one anecdote. Once Prabhupada was invited to a Gita meeting, Bhagavad Gita conference of some sort somewhere. And when Srila Prabhupada went there, he saw that all the intellectuals were sitting there. However, there was not a single picture of Lord Sri Krishna in that room. They had put a lighted lamp in one corner and they were discussing Gita. And Prabhupada was surprised. If this is a conference on Gita, where is the picture of the speaker of Gita? One should, first of all, understand and acknowledge that Krishna is the speaker of Gita and Krishna is the Supreme Lord. That is the premise, that is a qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita. So this was the page number 5 of introduction. Now we move on to the shlokas. Observing the army, which is chapter number 1, Bhagavad Gita as it is. We had completed up to shloka 7 and today we will do shloka 8, 9 and 10. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So the shlok 8. Just to quick recap of what we are at, where we are at. The battle is about to begin and both the sides are waiting, ready to start the battle. Duryodhana is just giving a moral boost to his side of the army and he goes to his teacher and he first described the great warriors on the opposite side and now he is going to describe the great warriors on his side, the Kaurava side. Bhavan Bhishmascha Karnascha Kripascha Samitinjaya Ashwathama Vikarnascha Somadattastatthaivacha. There are personalities like you, Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarna, and the son of Somadatta called Bhurishrava, who are always victorious in the battle. Purport: by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Duryodhana mentions the exceptional heroes in the battle, all of whom are ever victorious. Vikarna is the brother of Duryodhana, Ashwatthama is the son of Dronacharya, and Somadatta or Bhurishrava is the son of the king of the Balikas. Karna is the half-brother of Arjuna, as he was born of Kunti before her marriage with King Pandu. Kripacharya's twin sister married Dronacharya. So, in this verse, Duryodhana describes the great warriors on his side of the army. Verse number 9. अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणा सर्वे युद्धविशारदा. There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake, all of whom are well equipped with different kinds of weapons, and all of them are experienced in military science. Purport. As far as others are concerned, like Jayadratha, Kritavarma, and Shalya, all are determined to lay down their lives for Duryodhana's sake. In other words, it's already concluded that all of them would die in the battle of Kurukshetra for joining the party of sinful Duryodhana. Duryodhana was of course confident of his victory on account of the above mentioned combined strength of his friends. Now, in this verse, it's an interesting thing to note is that Duryodhana is describing the warriors on his side and he says these warriors, he uses the word madarte tyakta jivita, meaning they have come to give up their lives for my sake. Mother Saraswati had sat on Duryodhana's tongue at this point because Duryodhana was predicting the outcome of the battle even before it began. He says, these great warriors on my side, the Kaurava side, have come to lay down their lives for me. So he is already predicted the outcome of the battle. And Duryodhana is very confident of Bhishma Deva's strength, but at the same time, he didn't want others to feel that they have not been acknowledged. So, very diplomatically, he mentions all the great warriors on his side. Karna was not present at that time in the battlefield. Karna comes later, but Duryodhana was so much confident of Karna's loyalty and power that he mentions Karna. After Bhishma, he mentions Karna. So, and now we come to verse number 10. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishmabhirakshitam paryaptam tvidamete balam bhimabhirakshitam. Our strength is immeasurable and we are perfectly protected by grandfather Bhishma, whereas the strength of the Pandavas, carefully protected by Bhima, is limited. Purport. Herein an estimation of comparative strength is made by Duryodhana. He thinks that the strength of his armed forces is immeasurable, being specifically protected by the most experienced general, grandfather Bhishma. On the other hand, the forces of Pandavas were limited, being protected by a less experienced general, Bhima, who's like a fig in the presence of Bhishma. Duryodhana was always envious of Bhima because he knew perfectly well that if he should die at all, he would only be killed by Bhima. But at the same time, he was confident of his victory on account of the presence of Bhishma, who was a far superior general. His conclusion that he would come out of the battle victorious was well ascertained. Verse number 10, again, these are cryptic underlying messages. Duryodhana uses the word aparyaptam. Aparyaptam has a meaning not enough, and it also has a meaning in Sanskrit which means unlimited. So in this context, Duryodhana is saying that our strength, which is protected by Bhishma, who is the super general, is unlimited, whereas the strength of Pandavas, which is protected by Bhima, is limited because Bhishma was obviously much more superior in terms of age and experience and fighting power as compared to Bhima. So, though Duryodhana was shocked to see the size of the Pandava army, he does sort of he gauges the strength of both the sides. And even though he was apprehensive, as a good leader, he boosts the morale of his side by praising his warriors, and he says we are far more superior than that side because we are protected by Bhishma, who is so experienced in the art of warfare. So verse numbers 8, 9 and 10, we find that Duryodhana is describing his armies, and in the next episode we will do verse number 11 and probably 12, and after that we find that the war will just begin because everybody will start blowing their conch shells. So that was today's episode, Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Srila Prabhupada of ISKCON International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Myself, your servant Chaitanya Rupini Devi Dasi. Hope that you liked this video and have benefited by it. If so, please give us thumbs up, and please feel free to share it with your friends and family. And of course, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notification for the next videos. Hare Krishna.